Don't just love when a car gets towed in because it's a crank no start, and as soon as it gets dropped off of the tow truck, go to start it and it starts right up first try. Try it again. Starts right up. This is gonna be great. It's always fun trying to diagnose problems that aren't acting up when you get the car. Okay, so on this Hyundai, I'm here checking the fuel pump. You see, I got my current clamp on here, and when we turn the pump on, it might be hard to see, but looks good to me. So I guess I was initially barking up the wrong tree. So we're gonna have to look for a different reason on why it wouldn't start. The car did start initially when it came in, and it is now the next day. The fuel pump looks like it's okay, but now we're at a crank no start, and let's listen to this. Sounds like one cylinder is not really contributing. Well, that's weird, because yesterday when it did turn on, it didn't really sound like it had a misfire. It was just running fine. It's cold outside. I'm not really motivated to work on this Hyundai. It's kind of kicking my butt. Can't figure out why it won't start. But one thing I did notice is the fuel level option right here says 39%, right? And I look up at the dash, and that reads now, I would say that's correct, about 39%, but it wasn't like that. This whole time I've been in the car, that thing was at empty, and all of a sudden it just jumps up by itself. I wonder if the car won't start because there's no gas in it, and the fuel gauge is just reading incorrectly. I wish I had someone here to help crank the engine over while I spray some starter fluid into it. Ask and you shall receive. The gods have answered my prayers. Thank you, Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves. So just as I was done recording, my neighbor actually showed up, and I was like, hey, can you give me a hand with this? He's like, yeah, sure. I told him, just go ahead and crank the key over, and I'm going to spray some starting fluid into the throttle body. Guess what? Sure enough, the car started. The fuel pump turns on every single time. There's no dead spots on the fuel pump. I pulled the spark plugs out, and they smell like they have gasoline on them, so the injectors should be spraying. I think this car has no gasoline, despite that gauge right there saying that there is gasoline, because that's the first time it's moved. This whole time it was on empty. But I think this car got towed in because it has no gasoline in it, and that fuel level sensor is not working correctly. There you go. Drink up, little buddy. Believe it or not, this is not the first time this has happened to me. I've actually changed the fuel pump because a car wouldn't start, to only find out there was no gasoline in the tank because the fuel level sensor does not work. Anyway, just finished putting the gasoline in. Go ahead and give her a crank. Oh, look at that. Starts right up. That's amazing. It got towed in. There's no gasoline in it. Wow. As you can see, I moved the car into the garage, and with gasoline in it, it actually starts up every single time. Go figure, right? So let's go ahead and try it one more time. Wow, it starts up. Here's one thing I noticed is the fuel gauge. See where it's at? That's pretty much exactly where it was at when the car wouldn't start. So that's why everyone assumed it had gasoline in it. But for a while, I remember seeing that thing at empty. So it's definitely something funny going on with the fuel level sensor. So I told the owner, hey, if you want to be brave, you can just leave it and every 3 or 4 days just stop and make sure your car is topped off with gasoline. Or if you're that paranoid type, which it would drive me crazy not knowing what the real level is, I would just go ahead and put a new fuel pump unit in it to fix that and be over with it. So I don't know what they're going to do at this moment, but for now they're just going to come pick up the car, and if they want to get the fuel pump changed, they will bring it back. '95 Grand Cherokee just came in on the hook.